and welcome back to the Xfinity Desk. And once again, join with me here is going to be Tom T. Squared Taylor.
Oh yeah, sorry about that technical difficulty. We got it fixed, and we are ready to rock.
We absolutely are. Now, we do want to jump right back into where we left off here. Initially, we were about to be talking about Luminosity. So a lot of big changes here. We have a new organization coming into the HCS Pro League, as well as the return of Nated.
Yeah, Nated was on the former Optic Halo squad. Right after Flamesword retired, that's when Nated decided that he was going to take his hiatus from Halo, still streamed, still stayed active in his community, still looking for his first tournament win. Obviously got second place at the Halo World Championships. We all know that. That was a really big stepping stone from him, but it's still not that win. He's teamed up with his old teammate L-Town there from Allegiance, and they're going to try to, get things going and try to make some impact here.
And this was the that duo of Nated and L-Town were actually the ones on Allegiance that finished second place at the World Championships. So obviously a powerhouse and great chemistry between these two teammates. And of course, they are going to be teaming up as well with the Eco Denoxide, and that they're going to be coming off the previous Liquid last season. So we are looking for big things from this team as well.
Yeah, we saw Denoxide get goosed last season. He's going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder this season as well. Definitely started to come into his own after that. I think that kind of woke him up. And yeah, I'm really curious to see how they're going to be, because they could be a really hot team or they could be a really cold team. So I'm going to put them in my power rankings probably around where they were, around 6th or 7th, I think, that these guys are sitting.
I could get down with that. Now, what we do need to talk about, and this is what has thrown everyone for a curveball, starting with this morning, they released it during the Optic Vision episode, and that is going to be Counter Logic Gaming, the Counter Logic Gaming squad, changing organizations and now becoming Optic Gaming, and the previous Optic Gaming now being released from the org.
Yeah, absolutely insane. I mean, what is going on? What happened to the days where you would go and, pick up a team with your friends and just try to win? Now there's organizations, a lot of money involved. You're playing with CLG, obviously under contract with them. I'm not sure what happened, how much they're getting offered from Optic, but it's a really good opportunity for these guys. It's much more incentive for them to make even more. I think they've already made about $300,000 each. That's absolutely insane when you're talking about Halo prize money. So I think that it's a good thing for Halo in general, not good for the Optic Halo, the old Optic Halo team, the ex-Optic Halo team, but a good thing for the players on CLG right now, or Optic now.
And speaking of that old Optic squad here, hearts go out to all of those players as well. This is a lot to take in, but let's go ahead and take a moment and we'll hear from Maniac, who recently released this news.
I just feel it's in their best interest and my best interest if I just hang up the sticks, and it's time to retire. So thank you guys, and it's been one hell of a journey.
And there you heard it from Maniac. Of course, there's going to be a lot more there, and you're exactly right. That was an emotional video to watch. You know exactly what he's going through as a player. And yeah, you're playing video games for a living, but the amount of competition, everything involved now, even the politics as well. There's so much involved here, and our hearts definitely go out to those players.
What you're seeing there is you're just seeing a lot of emotion because of how much time that you put in. When you put in so much time, you develop so much relationships with not only the game of Halo, but the community, your teammates. They become like brothers to you. So there's just so many emotions swirling. And it's like, what are they going to do? Are they going to be able to have Maniac go out, on a win? Or are they going to have Maniac go out in a loss? Or maybe they do so good that Maniac doesn't feel the pressure anymore and he still wants to play. Who knows?
Yeah, you never know. Maybe not being with Optic anymore is exactly what this team needs. You just really don't know how the season is going to play out. But what I do want to talk about is the new Optic Gaming roster and the fact that this team is out to make a statement. They're trying to continue their dominance and form this lineup into a new dynasty. Taking a look at the summer season standings, you can see exactly how dominant this roster is. That is number one.
You can see why Optic wanted to have them. Look at the former Optic Gaming team, 2-12. Meanwhile, 13-1. The Halo World Championships, second place at X Games. There's a lot of, it's an enticing thing that's going on at this point. And keep in mind, guys, that every single team has changed besides that new Optic Gaming roster. They're all trying to take these guys down.
And to have a map win rate percentage of 82 in a pro league is absolutely unheard of.
Yeah, it's high up there. That's a high percentage. And the question is now that they've switched teams, how will that affect the dynasty that they're trying to build? They're on their way. They have a lot of work to do. They have a lot more tournaments to win when it comes to the pro league, and also winning national championships and things like that, and winning the world championships. So yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. Is this going to be? Is this incentive to go and have the Optic Gaming brand? Is that enough for them to be able to ride that momentum?
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how that one plays out. Now, they're not the only team that we've got crazy things happening in. We've also got the new Evil Geniuses lineup. Of course, we still got the duo of Lunchbox, the twin duo of Lunchbox and Roy, but now they are joining forces with Cloud9's Victory X and Ninja. And so this lineup right now, this squad, Victory X, I've been playing with that kid since 2005. Yeah. The most experience on any one team. And of course, with them actually parting ways now with Snipe Down on the far left of your screen, as you can see. Crazy things happening with Evil Geniuses as well.
And one of the things is they have Ogre 2 as analyst. Touched base on it a little bit earlier, but that's huge. You have the greatest player of all time, the most winningest player in Halo as your analyst. How serious is he taking that job? How is he going to work with Lunchbox and Roy so they aren't sitting there arguing with one another, because they're brothers? That's what they do. They try to get better, but it affects the team when you sit there and you have so much to say and other people want to speak up. So who's going to be the leader? Who's going to have the voice? Who's going to step in there? Is it going to be Ogre 2 to try to gel these guys together and make them a cohesive unit?
Right, and with all the experience and everything that all of these players have been through, the ups and downs that you have as a pro player, is this going to be the new injection of life that they needed to get back to EG's final form, essentially?
Real quick, one of the things is, we're sitting there seeing them. I think it was 5th place. So they're coming in really hungry. They just missed out on their opportunity to get top 4. Yeah, it was disappointing for them, but 5th place, it's really not that bad considering how poorly these guys were playing when we talk about the expectations that we have for them. So I think that a big weight has been lifted off their shoulders, and they're going to come in more hungry.
All right, now the other team that I'm extremely excited about, essentially the one I'm most excited about prior to all the crazy nonsense that's happened this morning, and that's going to be Team Envious. This team was created with the sole intention of taking down CounterLogic Gaming.
Yeah, exactly. You had Hugh, who obviously was one of the best players outside of being on CLG, which is now Optic. And then you have Snipe Down, who wasn't really in Snipe Down form last season. Not sure if he was just feeling a little bit uncomfortable, maybe a little bit over-practiced. We know, personally from teaming with him, when he gets a little bit frustrated, he may not be playing at his best. I was really disappointed as someone that, has always thought Eric was one of the best players. Snipe Down was one of the best players with his objective work. So when you surround yourself with more slayers, then maybe more people are going to be open to go for the objective because you're not a little bit worried about what everyone's doing. So curious to see how they're going to do. Obviously, they beat CLG in a scrim, the Optic Gaming squad now. That's a really big stepping stone for them.
That's a really good point here. So if you weren't paying attention over the course of the offseason, just recently, we had the new Envy lineup take down. And this is going to be, and of course, we apologize if we get any of these names mixed up. There's been a lot happening here. The Optic Logic Gaming roster in a 9-5 online scrim. So although it's an online scrim and, obviously these Pro League matches are where it really counts, we did have a tweet from Snipe Down as well go out directed towards CLG, and you can see that on the bottom of your screen, saying GG's.
Feels good, man, all that type of stuff. It's just like, relax, man. You don't got to rub it in everyone's face. We all know that you won the scrim. It's pretty much fighting words. So I know Lethal bounced back with a counter tweet. Lethal's never one to be quiet. He says, I tweet those after winning things that count. I know it's been a while for you, so I'll let it slide. Ouch, that was a good one. But that's what we need. We need some more rivalries. I know that they're all friendly rivalries at the same time. Like, for example, myself and Walshy are still really good friends, even though we've duked it out numerous times. And this is what we need. We need some rivalries going on. We need someone to contest with this Optic Halo roster now to be able to put them down and make some sort of competition, because when we would play, there was always, a handful of teams that could win any event, and that just made it so much better for the viewers.
Absolutely. Now, of course, there's never been a time more than now that I'm curious to see what your thoughts, feedback, predictions are. So make sure you join in on the conversation. Tweet at us using the at HCS or at ESL Halo, and make sure you use the hashtag HCS as well so we can follow up with those after the show, interact with all you guys. This is a crazy start to a Pro League season. I cannot believe what has actually been happening in these new squads and orgs, everything that is happening right now in Halo.
Yeah, really, it comes down to, can these people put all the distractions behind them and just play the game? And I think that this kind of favors Envy because of the fact that they've, like you said, they have the mindset of beating this Optic roster. Optic's dealing with changing orgs, dealing with contracts, dealing with all of these other things. Maybe they're thinking about making content. That's your time while they're distracted and not thinking about just solely playing to go in there and win. And that's how you win, is you get rid of all of those distractions, you make sacrifices, and you play the game of Halo, and that's what we're here to see.
Hashtag truth. Now, we do have, or not to delay too much as I'd like to sit here and talk about these rosters and team changes and things, let's go ahead and take a look at what we have in store for tonight's matches. Of course, our very first one here is going to be Luminosity going up against Optic, going up against LOL, whatever you want to call them. I don't think they've even had enough time to make a new team name, but we're looking at LOL right now, and of course you'd have to hear it from the players exactly how they went about that one.
And then you have Optic Gaming going up against Enigma 6. Keep in mind that the Optic Gaming roster has been updated. This is the former CLG squad, which means that this is a rematch of the finals here that we had for the summer season. Again, EG taking on Allegiance, and then Envious going up against Liquid. All these matches, Kyle, are going to be so even, so intense.
And I'm extremely excited for that Envious Liquid. Like I mentioned before here, this new team Liquid that actually took that Cloud9 seed here after the Worlds based on how the team jumble kind of worked out there. But that is going to be my sleeper team essentially for this season. I expect big things out of them. And of course, they're going up against that powerhouse Envy. So we talked about that very first match, Luminosity versus the Optic lineup. And of course, there's a lot of, maybe not bad blood, but there's a lot of history here between these two teams because Nated actually left that group or that team of former Optic Gaming right before the start of the summer season.
Yeah, and like I said, the people from the Optic, the LOL team, they've been through so much. It's been such an emotional roller coaster for them. You know, Nated, he's just been chilling and streaming. You know, Luminosity, they're feeling good. They're just playing the game. You know, like I said, you know, whoever's going to just play the game and focus the hardest is going to be able to win. The question is Optic, is this LOL team going to be able to ride these emotions, and where are the emotions going to take them?
All right, let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at this matchup that we are about to see. That is going to be Luminosity up against Team, and we'll call them for today, Team LOL right now, of course, former Optic. Now, we've already talked a little bit about Luminosity. We got that Nated taking the seed of Team Liquid here, and of course, we'll talk about that a little bit further here later in the show. But let's spend some time here to take a look at this LOL roster. Of course, formerly Optic from last season, finished in the 8th place seed, but did make their way back through relegation. We've got Maniac, and we just saw the video from him, who is looking to retire shortly, so hearts out there.
Yeah, and then APG, Heinz, and Ace, that's going to round up the lineup. And keep in mind when you think of these guys, is they're all very tight-knit group. They're all really close friends. And, you know, like I said, they're fan favorites, very big social media presence thanks to the Optic juice that they received. They have a national champion, global champion, and multiple tournament winners. So while these guys have won tournaments, they've only kind of been one-offs. They've never been able to actually have some sort of consistency in winning tournaments. Yeah, they've placed within the top 8, but no one wants to just get top 8. Everyone that plays in these leagues, they want to win.
Yeah, not only the players, but the orgs themselves as well,
obviously,
as we see. So this is going to be a really intense matchup because I am really curious to see how Team LOL plays with everything that's going on, because this does take a mental toll on you. Just think about how much was on these players' minds last night, what they've been thinking about trying to do this morning, getting set up with their gamer tags, getting set up with...
Oh, yeah, it's a bummer.
I
mean, so much going on. It's just like, hey, Maniac, you know, we're going to be replacing you guys. Can we make a video about it, though, like 5 minutes from now? Sure, man. Okay.
It was hard to watch for Maniac Maniac
It's
as
hard to
well
watch.
because Maniac's always been a really good friend of mine, and it's really hard to see exactly what all of those players
Yeah,
are
you wish them
going
the
through.
best. You wish them the best for sure. But let's take a look at the actual series layout because the maps that these guys playing, do matter here. Plaza Strongholds, Slayer on the Rig, CTF Truth, Strongholds Rig, Slayer Coliseum. In my opinion, this is a perfect way to start off the fall season. I mean, all of these game types, in my opinion, these are probably, some of my favorite game types out of the current game types that we have.
Right, now let's not waste any time because we've got a lot of action in store here today. Very first game is going to be Plaza on Strongholds. Go ahead and take a look at this map. For anyone new at home watching, it is 100 points to win. There are 3 separate strongholds here on this map. There is going to be that camo top center as well. Look for players to set up and control at least 2 strongholds to start putting time on the clock. Of course, having all 3 strongholds, you will accumulate that time faster.
Yeah, even though a couple minor changes, still the meta for this game, it's getting nest, holding bottom mid, trying to trap the enemy team at yard. And we're on board with L-Town, who's making his way over towards the nest, laying some shots down on this guy. Doesn't take out Ace. Ace getting a big kill there, and L-Town needed to get that kill because now Ace is going to be able to secure the nest. So missed opportunity there. L-Town was looking over towards the other side, and it looks like now LOL is going to be looking to try to secure bottom mid, and this is the ideal setup for them. They now can trap the enemy team into yard, and they need to be aggressive, but make sure that they're not overextending and dying at the same time.
All right, now I do like this pressure here from APG. He knows there's players in yard. They just captured that stronghold. He's trying to lock down Loop here. You got a good flank from Maniac. Picks up that kill there on Denoxide. They know there's still 2 players trapped in yard, and they're looking to push on, capitalize maybe on a triple cap. I really like this play here. Maniac does in fact fall. APG backs up, does not want to commit. You do not want to give up this setup. You have control.
Yeah, Maniac a little bit overextended there. He's just trying to respond to callouts instead of maybe making a move for himself, and kind of got caught with his pants down over there towards yellow. But the good thing for this Optic squad for LOL is that they do have the bottom mid and nest still. Ace falling is going to be the opportunity that Luminosity needs to make a push. It looks like that's going to be Denoxide making his way over towards the nest area. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't have a teammate until just now, so they are going to be able to double capture this. It makes you get it faster. However, the reset does come in for Optic. Denoxide getting the kill on Hines, but Hines clutching it up, getting that reset.
And great job there by Maniac as well here, picking up that kill, preventing that stronghold from going over. Now, it is control now in the favor of Luminosity. They have the bottom hit. They're trying to work on grabbing control, but too many players here, and he ultimately gets taken out as well.
Yeah, so we're taking a look at Ace. He's just trying to hold this nest down because if the nest does go over to Luminosity, they're going to have a triple cap. That's going to be APG trying to hold these guys down, but the shots aren't working in his favor. Nice shots, but he gets double teamed, so we're on board with Eco, who's over here getting that nest, and that's going to be a triple cap just temporarily though, because now Optic LOL is going to be able to make their way towards bottom mid or towards the yard. So camo coming up here pretty shortly. Eco over here doing a nice job making sure that this player at nest doesn't get the kill, but that's Ace getting a big kill. Let's see what Ace is doing. Actually, I'm on board with Hines because the fact that the camo's coming up here pretty soon. So nice SMG shots coming out from him. He's going to be able to secure the kill on the Denoxide, and this is huge for APG and for Hines and the rest of these guys. If they can secure this, that means that they should be able to get the camo as well. So a little poor man setup coming out, holding bottom mid, but they're going to want to get that nest eventually.
And the camo player is spotted, but he does not get taken out. Manages to stay alive, but Nated does ultimately fall to Ace as well. Now they still have control. Somebody's going to need to reset this yard here, but it looks like they're going to go ahead and give control of that up and focus on trying to recapture nest.
Yeah, Optic LOL is in a little bit of a sticky situation here. The pressure from Luminosity has been a little bit too strong. They need to reset and really focus on what they want to capture. It looks like they're making way over towards nest. Some fortunate spawns. Luminosity didn't get all of the spawns under control, so they are going to be able to hold again this poor man setup, but eventually the goal is to get over towards that nest area. Nated, nice little sneaky play using his radar to his advantage, gets APG fighting another player. That's going to be another kill onto Maniac, so nice job by Nated just playing sneaky around the corner.
Yeah, I really like Maniac's play there. He does pick up a kill, no shields, and Nated misses several different shots there, so Maniac going clutch here.
And then Denoxide's over here as well, holding the gas station area. Again, Denoxide with the Goose last season, but he's really stepped it up. He's known as one of the best shooters and slayers, but his communication may not be on par. But the thing is they seem to be communicating just fine. They have a nice little lead. It's 100 points. Go ahead. It's 100 points for them, to take this, and they're already halfway through.
And people dying left and right here, trying to get control of this bottom mid. Looks like they finally will be able to push through there. Now, this is CLG Ace, as you can see on the bottom of the screen, but that is going to not actually be Counter Logic Gaming. This is, in fact, LOL, like we mentioned before.
Unfortunately for Ace, he does get the shotgun, but everyone on Luminosity collapses on him. Naded's over there working with one of his teammates to capture the nest, and this is pretty big. Again, the camouflage is coming up here pretty soon. Naded grabbed it last time, so you know that he has the timer on that. Looks like they're set up. That's Eco as well, crouching around the corner. So Naded gets taken out. That was a priority kill that they needed to get, and that was Ace picking it up. But we're taking a look at what Maniac's doing. Only 2 weeks left in his Halo career. Let's see what he has in store for us.
I like this play here, backing down, waiting for help. He does have 2 players in front of him that haven't spotted him quite yet. Does, in fact, hit that charged plasma pistol shot, trying to do some old school noob combo action here. Now that bottom mid hill does go over back to Luminosity. Would have liked to see them get a little bit, or see LOL get into that hill a little bit quicker. They're unable to do so. Several members dying. Maniac needs to stay alive as long as possible here.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy that Maniac was able to stay alive for that long, considering his position, but Naded's over here in kind of a poor spot. You don't want to necessarily be on the bottom of that dip area. You want to try to sit over there towards the top or maybe hotel, so a little bit overextended from him. And then Optic LOL is going to take advantage of that. Ace, you can see his map movement so clean. I love the way that he constantly is moving around, staying alive, but he has players from Luminosity collapsing on him, and that's going to be someone at U-turn picking up the kill on him. APG sneakily crouching over towards the dip, gets spotted at the gas station area, and that's everybody on Luminosity collapsing. Eco and the rest of his squad take back bottom mid.
And you can capture that hill so quickly once you start stacking your teammates there. Over a 20-point lead here now for Luminosity. Now you can see Optic, the little player outlines here on your camera. There's numbers advantage currently. I like seeing them all push out. They need to go a little bit quicker. Eco barely staying alive. We've seen Royal 2 really abuse this spot in the past.
This is a really good spot. Anyone that plays at a high level knows that this is the spot to hold, because you have your teammates holding the rest of this map towards the nest area. But unfortunately for him, his teammates don't fill the rest of the map, and that's L-Town getting forced to try to get that reset, and a little bit of desperation play. That was the right play, but poor positioning for Luminosity allows Optic LOL to get back into it. It looks like Heinz is going for the triple cap.
And he immediately pushes in there. Now he's going to need to win this 1v1 battle. Eco doing a good job staying alive briefly. Delays long enough for
I don't
help.
like that play from Heinz. See, Heinz doesn't have to get out of the stronghold there. All he needs to do is continue to contest that. Yeah, someone else came in, but you got to have the confidence that you're going to win that fight. You don't even have to go for the triple cap in the first in the first point, because you can just hold this setup, and now Luminosity gets right back into the game, and they only need 30 more points to win.
This is coming down to the wire here. You see APG getting shot off by Eco, who's in that hotel once again.
The Eco spot.
It might become the Eco spot here. You see Heinz trying to contest this hotel player. Does, in fact, push him back. You've got members, looks like Denoxide coming through loop, trying to push over as quickly as possible, but it looks like that stronghold will go back over to LOL.
It's just been completely back and forth, teams trading bottom middle over and over again. What we haven't seen is anyone really get over towards that top nest area. We like to call it sometimes S3 as well, and that's the highest point on the map, and everybody knows in Halo you want to try to get the height positioning, or any first-person shooter really, so it gives you the better angle to win these fights. But L-Town doesn't care about the angles. He's fighting from bottom middle, getting perfect shots.
Oh, but it looks like the hill's barely being contested there. Heinz gets into the hill just in time. If he can get a reset
win this.
here.
What is he doing?
But he
Come on, Heinz. Heinz, you have to stay in the stronghold at that point. That's twice now. That guy was no shields. All you have to do is get aggressive on that guy and charge that guy. That's going to be a triple cap now coming out from Luminosity. Yeah, LOL gets the yard, but they really only have one more push now. Naded knows that, so he adds the pressure, and this is when you add the pressure on the yard. When you have the numbers advantage and you know that you have to force the other team to make a push. Yeah, they do get the reset, but the thing is Luminosity forgot to choke spawns over there at the nest.
And APG won that big 1v1 battle to prevent Yard from being captured here by Luminosity. They do have control, but just like that, looks like nobody quite in position. They're trying to push over to Nest as quickly as possible, just barely too late.
Yeah, and let's see if Hines can regroup from that misplay that he had towards bottom middle and towards the yard. Maybe the nest is his side of the map. He's in there by himself. He's not able to get this. Luminosity is going to be able to win. So let's see if they're able to get the bottom middle as well, because Luminosity is taking the yard. So pretty much this is what it comes down to. Optic LOL needs to take this. Otherwise, mathematically, they're out. As long as Luminosity can just contest, which they're doing right now, they should be able to win. They got to clear this guy out of the Prius. Hines gets out again, and they're not able to do it. So a couple misplays coming out from Hines, the new addition to this squad. And yeah, you can see Maniac, you know, even though we saw the misplays coming out from Hines, 21 kills, Maniac only 8.
And look at the number of captures that we had this game. 11 captures out here from Nated. So he's picking up on that objective work exactly where he left off. And the newest addition here to LOL, as in Hines Jr. here, 21 kills with 9 captures. Doing that slaying, doing that objective work. We did see a couple plays that we might have done a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Could have affected the game, but overall, good performance by him.
Definitely affected the game. I mean, you know, Hines had a fantastic game. I would love to see, you know, him finish that off and just stay in the stronghold and just contest. But you got to give it to Luminosity overall. You know, both of these squads are very new. Picking up, you know, that first win is going to give them a lot of hope, a lot of momentum. I still think that, you know, Optic LOL is going to bounce back really strong here. I think this is when we're going to see Maniac really step it up. Hopefully we can see him with the snipe in his hand or some sort of power weapon here to get him going, because, you know, with 2 weeks left, we want to see the best from these guys.
I couldn't agree more. A 100-70 victory at Luminosity, although control probably a couple times should have stayed in the hands of LOL, but actually went over to Luminosity. Now, game 2 is going to be the Rig Slayer. Now, this is a game type that we've seen LOL perform pretty well on over the course of the regular season, you know, on their strongholds. They were the first team to actually take that game off of Counter-Logic Gaming, or formerly Counter-Logic Gaming, now Optic Gaming as well.
Yeah, Optic beat Optic.
Yeah, so the storylines are definitely going to get a little bit blurred here, but we'll definitely do our best to keep you updated on both the history and what we have in store next.
Yeah.
But Rig Slayer, Tom, tell me what you think.
What I'm looking for is Hines to go for the plasma caster. Hines is you coached him. You know he's very, very strong with those type of weapons. With the noob tube and Halo Reach, he was fantastic with that as well. So I'm looking for him to maybe control that plasma caster. I want to see, you know, these guys control the weapons here. Everything in Halo 5 with the radar, things like that, it's all about controlling the weapons and controlling the flow of the game. We saw a little bit of, it's the first game of the season, understand a little bit of mistakes coming out from both teams, but one of the things that I really was seeing mistakes happen was the spawns, not controlling the spawns, leaving parts of the map open. Now, leaving parts of the map open are okay, but you have to communicate to your teammates that that part of the map is open. For example, let's talk about, you know, Rig, for example. Now, the Carbine area, the map is a very popular spawn. Now, you can actually leave the BR area, which is where everyone wants to hold, and collapse on those Carbine spawns and just trap them there. But everyone has to communicate, hey, we're going to leave the BR bunker area. They may spawn there. So you go and you kill them on that side of the map, and then you pay attention, and then you go back and you kill them on the other side of the map, and you can literally do that back and forth.
You're exactly correct. With Halo 5, the speed the game is played at, the way you can move around the map with thrust, clamor, and everything like that, it's just so quick. So being able to collapse on spawns and constantly create numbers advantages is where you really see those big leads being built. Now, this is the second or the fall season, and the second time that we've been using that veto system here as well. So we can take a quick look at some of those vetoes and see exactly how we ended up with game 2 Stronghold, or excuse me, the Rig Slayer. You can see banned on regret.
Yeah, and it's pretty interesting to see how this pans out. I think that the other teams should be taking a screenshot right now, and these coaches should be saying, hey, these maps are what these teams don't want to play. We want to leave these open and not ban these moving forward.
And always the mind game is, do we want to ban our worst game type or ban the opposing team's best game type? So a lot of cool things that keep these matches interesting. Sometimes you will see the same maps replayed, whether or not it's Strongholds or Slayer, but most of the time that's because both teams are comfortable there. Now we do have the players getting set up here in game 2. That is the Rig Slayer. We can go ahead and take a quick look at how this map is going to be played out. Now, you brought up a lot of good points about the different map rotations and moving. Of course, this is Carbine side, although you saw a BR there. Some of the weapons have changed during the off season, but a lot of the player locations are determined on where a map may have originally been. Now,
I want to see Maniac screen. I want to make this game all about Maniac because of the fact that he only had 8 kills last game, right? So if he can get something going here, obviously, you know, the weapons have been moved and things like that, shotgun added. You also have the railgun over there as well. But Maniac, his job to go for the camo, and he's not even shooting it down. He wasted about 10 shots shooting it. So let's see if he's able to get it. Uncontested, gets it, picks that up at 47, gets hit with a snipe. That's going to be Naded getting the shots onto Maniac. Maybe if Maniac hit a couple of those shots, he could have shot the camo down a little bit sooner and got away with it. But overall, it's 2-2 in a good position here for APG to spawn his teammates over there towards the bunker. But it looks like Naded's trying to dip out as fast as possible with that sniper. So even though that Optic LOL does have control of the ideal area, they do not have control of the weapons.
And great job by APG staying alive, but now you've got dynasty with that plasma caster putting a shot down on him. Naded just drops with the sniper as well. We'll stay on board with dynasty for a minute, see how he's going to be able to put this weapon to use.
Yeah, and like I was saying, you can sit here and just collapse on these spawns. That's a sick triple kill coming out from dynasty, looking for the overkill. Is he able to find it? L-Town, come on, L-Town, you got to let your boy get the over. But yeah, like I was saying, you can just collapse on these spawns constantly. We know they're spawning over that Carbine, so now we know that they're spawning in bunker, and you just continue to rotate. dynasty needs to get a little bit better positioning. Yeah, that's a really annoying spot, but if someone else on his team would potentially move over towards where the railgun spawns, that would stop all of the routes for LOL and this Optic squad to get out of there. Maniac trying to get the assault rifle kill, that's not going to be good enough, and that's what Naded's doing. This is exactly what needed to happen. He even has a shotgun, which is the ideal gun to have in that situation, but a nice splinter grenade coming out from Ace is going to push him back. Naded's going to slow play this one. They do have the lead, and they do have the ideal setup now. They have that bunker area, and they have the shotgun over there towards the railgun. Now all they have to do is worry about the plasma caster and slowly collapse on these guys as they try to make their way towards the BR area.
And Naded still has a lot of ammo here in this shotgun, and we've seen just how damaging it can be, especially in the hands of Rami during that summer season. Just a moment ago, Luminosity had half of their kills from the plasma caster alone, so just wanted to point that out as well.
Yeah, it's about controlling the weapons. You have the pistol, you have the assault rifle, those are your default guns, but even though they are good and even though Halo 5 is very balanced, nothing's better than getting control of the camouflage, getting control of the shotgun, railgun, sniper rifle. There's so many on this map. Each one of your teammates could have one or possibly more. So see Naded over here with this shotgun camouflage combo. Big kill coming out from APG. He gets taken out immediately from L-Town, who also has a weapon. So like you said, we're seeing Plasma Caster in the hands of Luminosity, and that's not good for Optic.
Now this game is far from over. We will see that camo respawn in 2 minutes. It was picked up at right about 9 minutes, 45 seconds in the player of AGC. Naded has also got the shotgun back again. Picked that up off of his dead body as well. That's a 23-10 lead here, and Luminosity is starting to run away with this one.
This is, but like you said, it's not over yet. There's still a lot of opportunities. It really starts with the camouflage in this instance, though, for the side of Optic for LOL, because of the fact that both of the camos were burned. So if they can just, you know, each pick up a kill or two here, they could change the tides. But love the way that L-Town and the rest of Luminosity is playing this. They're controlling the important parts of the map, and they're controlling them with the weapons as well. But while I'm saying that, the rest of his teammates are dropping. So L-Town's put in a little bit of an awkward position where he has to challenge this kill. Fortunately, his teammate Naded spawns over there in the bunker, and now the map has been reset in the favor of Luminosity.
And L-Town now here with this sniper has said several power weapons all ready to get this one started. Now, when your team does have the sniper, you're going to want to give that sniper player time to actually find different positions, try to pick off a player or two. If one of your teammates starts dying, that is when the opposing team will take it as an opportunity to push across the map and try to, you know, take out that player. So look for L-Town to move around the map here, try to find different positions and angles, but look for his team to try and stay alive as best as possible and not overcommit to any fights.
In this instance, since he's not getting any angles, I would try to rotate him with dynasty, who's over there towards the railgun area. dynasty picks up a kill, though, and that's going to be 2 players for the side of Optic. Now 3 players for the side of Optic falling, and this is the communication that I'm talking about. I'm going to go Y mode to see where the spawns are, and they're over at the barrels area. So fortunately for the side of Luminosity, Optic doesn't spawn over there towards the bunker. They got the barrel spawn, but that could have been a big opportunity for them to get a lucky spawn on the side of Optic.
And it looks like the players know that Sniper is running around here towards that engine area. But look, you've still got the, and great shot there by L-Town. Again, rewards himself with a new camo like we mentioned, but like plasma caster, sniper rifle, Optic's just not able to get any kind of power weapon control. And like we talked about, constantly rotating and abusing the spawns, they are constantly spawning at the carbine and they're not able to make any changes here.
Come on, L-Town. This is the pro league, man. You need to hit those shots. Your camo in the middle of the open and just got embarrassed. Come on, L-Town.
That's exactly what Optic needs, or excuse me, Optic needs to get back into this game. And that was a haircut if I've ever seen it. Kind of looked like it went right through his face.
It looked like a little bit of lag on that first one, but this is Maniac's opportunity. This is what Optic needs. Even if they don't win this game, at least you can get the sniper in Maniac's hand, have him getting a couple kills here to give him some confidence to try to maybe win game 3. This one isn't over yet. It's only 14 kill difference, but like I was saying, any little thing counts. And I think Maniac's trigger finger is broken, or maybe he's having some controller malfunctions, because I was expecting him to shoot a bullet.
Yeah, I don't exactly know what happened there. Kind of looked like he was trying to drop and his feet might have got caught on one of those pipes or the terrain or environment that's here on the map. But regardless, 38-23, they built that 30-15 lead and they're able to maintain it here so far going forward. Maniac does pick up another kill off spawn. You can see that is a plasma caster on Ace's back, but that looks like it was out of ammo as well.
Nice job by Eco to stay off the radar in that instance. A lot of people think that if you're on the ground, you can't make it up towards there using the clamor, but he used the clamor, knows that he'll still stay off the radar. He was no shield, so that was a big play. And at this point, you're okay trading kills if you're Luminosity. Ace trying to get in a little bit of a spree here. This is a nice power position. He's going to have to be able to clean this kill up. Denoxide says no with the perfect shots. He's no shields, though, bouncing around. And this map really is all about controlling the Whitehall, because you can't control the Whitehall without more map control over towards bunker and over there towards top tower where that railgun spawns. You see he's in a little bit of a pickle here because he's trying to fight Richie Hines, who's making his way over towards the sniper, and he gets taken out. But they know Denoxide's in a powerful position, and still 12 kills. They are trading kills. Like I said, the side of Optic, they need to get on a run here, and it starts with APG picking up this snipe.
And L-Town, as you can see, still has that plasma caster, picks up a kill there. Naded gets some perfect shots with the pistol to grab yet another one. That is also the camo going to be picked up, as that spawned just about 10 seconds ago as well. Looks like it's in the hands of Naded here. APG does pick up a body shot there, not able to grab the kill though.
Yeah, and the thing is camo, who knows what happened with it. It came up about 15 seconds ago. Luminosity's been on top of it like white on rice. And you got APG over here just trying to hit desperate no-scopes when they're down 15 kills. So not looking good here for Optic. This is kind of what we saw from them last season, where they would lose a close game and then just completely get dismantled in the next game. So a little bit worrisome here for the rest of the squad. Looks like they were not able to control their emotions coming out. And Luminosity is just focused on the game and winning. And that's that right there. You can see the stats. Hines 4-14 performance. So Maniac and Hines taking their turns here, kind of dropping the ball for Optic.
Yeah, and that was, kind of a bad beat. Essentially, they took a lead at one point. It was, in fact, 30-15, and they essentially just maintained that lead and traded kills for the remainder of the game. Now, really interested to see the power weapon kill count, because right off the bat, you saw Denoxide with that amazing triple kill, and that's after he already had another stick as well. So Luminosity coming out and proving that they are going to be a dominant team here this season.
Yeah, I wouldn't go and call them dominant quite yet. They are placing, going up against the team that finished 8th in the last season. So even then, I'm not really sure if I agree with the team changes that this Optic squad made. I think that, Ace and, Straight Sick were a great foundation. I'm not happy with how, APG didn't fill up to his expectations, and Maniac obviously, has a lot going on right now. A little bit of an emotional roller coaster for these guys, and Luminosity just taking full advantage of that. Yeah, these games, semi-close, but we saw a couple mistakes here that would have made it a lot closer for the side of Optic.
You're exactly correct. There were some mistakes made, and there were also some amazing clutch plays made by Luminosity as well. They were clearly all over timing of the weapons. You see a Naded grabbing a shotgun once it came off respawn during that game. Of course, once that runs out of ammo, it's 10 seconds for it to respawn once it is dropped.
Yeah.
And of course, they did have every camo that game as well, I believe.
I'm curious if Flamesword's even coaching these guys right now. What's going on with Flame? Is he involved with the team? Does this team even have a coach? There's a lot of things, that haven't been settled yet. And you can go out there and say, we want to go out with a bang. We want to do our best. We want to finish, Maniac's last 2 weeks off here as a, professional Halo player. But you know, it's all about the preparation that leads up to this moment. Things don't just happen. There's a lot of behind the scenes things that go on, and the amount of time that, you know, you practice and that you practice together in harmony with a good positive mindset goes a really long way.
I couldn't agree more. And not only that, but you know, what about the energy from the Optic fans? You know, are the Optic fans going to jump behind the new Counter Logic Gaming lineup, or are they going to be remembering the roots and where it came from? Because these are the guys that have been grinding it out, you know, making the content at all the events, participating, you know, doing it for Optic, and now they are essentially orgless.
Yeah, that's a good question. And what org's gonna, you know, eventually pick them up too. So, you know, a lot of things have changed back in our days. You know, we can go back and, you know, sit there and be like, back in my day, but it's really different. There's a lot of money up for grabs now, a lot more than before. You know, organizations are involved. We saw some stuff happen with Stellar and Enigma 6 where they kind of had a little bit of a contract dispute. So, you know, again, the big thing is for these teams to put these things behind them, focus on playing, and have a good quality practice.
And this is all a mind game as well. And these players need to put themselves in the best mindset going into a series in order to perform at the best of their ability. It doesn't matter how much you practice. If you go to an event or it's time to show up and play and you are distracted, whether or not it's something at home or something with your team, organization, random fans, health problem, whatever the case may be, these guys have to focus on their mindset.
A lot of people would go and call these things excuses, but really what all they are is their distractions. That's all they are. So the big thing is, again, is just focusing on playing, making sure that you aren't, you know, going out there and just imagine Optic and Maniac and those guys' mindset, right? How much have they slept even the last 24, 48 hours? How are they feeling? Are they able to eat because all of this stress? You're out there living in Chicago. You know, you've made the move from home. You finally left the nest, you know, 24 years old. And then you go, and then a year later, you have to move. I had the same thing happen to me when I went to the LAN Network house, where I went up there, you know, just got second place with Rynoob, Nated, you know, and legit, and then was told that I had to move. And I only had, you know, a couple days to figure out what I was going to do. Well, I don't live in Chicago anymore. Where am I going to go? And that put a lot of pressure on me, and I made a team change that I didn't want to make, and I ended up, you know, going. We ended up teaming again, and that's something that I didn't feel like I was ready to do yet because I just got second place in that event. So when you have these outside factors come in, they're not necessarily excuses. It's just real life things that you have to deal with, and that's what I'm talking about. You have to, if you're going to play Halo at your best, you have to live in the virtual world. You have to shut out what's going on in the real world and just focus on kicking butt.
And I'm really glad you brought up that point about the sleep issue and things. Like, these players found out from the feedback that I've received essentially very late last night. The announcement was made today, and like you said, it affects sleep. These players are not 15 anymore. I remember when I would go to an event, sleep on the floor or barely sleep for 3 days and be completely fine. And now if I don't get a good night's sleep, I am completely useless the next day.
I wake up, my back hurts. I'm like, what's going on, man? Like, is this what happens? I feel like the Tom Tin Man Taylor nowadays.
That's a good one. I actually really like that. But let's not waste any time as we've got these players getting ready to go into game number 3. Now, of course, this is going to be capture the flag on Truth.
This is a good map for Optic. This is a good map for them. They need to reset here. This is a classic midship remake. Everybody knows how to play this map. The warm-up time is over for Maniac and these guys. They need to play well. The thing is Kyle, you know, after 3 games, it doesn't matter which games and which ones that you lost. No matter what, if the series is still going on, it's going to be 2-1 in anyone's favor. So win this game for Optic, for LOL. You know, prove something to your fans that, you know, you guys want their support. You guys have to step it up here.
And let's not forget, look, these players haven't even had time to change their weapon skins. They are still rocking the Optic Gaming HCS skin. So clearly this is a brand new thing.
It's a cool skin, and you don't have a team, so what other skin are you going to rock? You can go with the pizza slice, so you never really know. Pizza sounds good, but APG over here fighting bottom middle. He does have the fuel rod, so if he can stay alive, that'll be pretty big, but L-Town says, hey, he does have the fuel rod, so make sure you get that kill. And Nated over here going towards P3 like this play, playing pretty sneaky. He also has an aggressive teammate. That's Eco going in for the flag, but Heinz getting that nice little trade, and that's L-Town with the sword as well in the base. Everyone knows, or if you don't know, the sword makes you run faster with the flag, so really important to get that sword out of that P2 area and try to get it in towards the flag so you can be the objective player. And Nated doesn't have to get really aggressive here. If I was him, I would just be sitting back, wait for someone else to fill that P2 position, and then you can push into the base, and that's exactly what he did.
And look, you can just tell how good some of his map rotations are here, staying alive, abusing all the benefits in Halo 5 that you can, and, you know, essentially considering that this is similar to like a midship kind of remake, Nated had extreme success both in free-for-all and in 4v4s, and has a lot of experience playing on a symmetrical map laid out similar to this.
Good shots from APG. Like to see him win those type of fights where he has the poor positioning, and that's going to allow him to push in towards the base. I like this play but he does go under the base, so he could have jumped into the window. We do have the player outlines and we can see what's going on, but he had 3 routes that he could have taken, and in my opinion that was the worst route. So a little bit of a misplay coming out from APG. Maniac's going to try to make up for that and push in towards the base. He has the Denoxide, but Maniac didn't realize that he was already weak when he started that fight, so Denoxide gets that kill. Probably thought that he outplayed him and didn't even realize that Maniac was weak. So nice little momentum boost for the side of Luminosity. Looks like Denoxide's going to slow play this one. I do like that he's pushing into P2 here. Has 2 players for the side of Optic, but APG, nice shots coming in from the window. So let's see what's going on the car side of the map with Eco fighting Maniac. The rest of his teammates are falling, so he likes to go inside the base and play a little bit of defense, which is a pretty smart play. Decides not to challenge that guy car side. However, nice bait and switch coming out from the side of Optic.
Wow, and look, they're doing it left and right. You got the player below the base, Ace, focusing on helping out everyone red 2, and then 2 players pushing in from pink. They almost got the flag out of the base. Richie Hines is going to drop before he's able to get that flag into a great position for anyone else to kind of pick it up and run it. Ace, I really like this.
Well, this is a good play, but everyone died around him. Maniac needed to secure that car side of the map. So yeah, Ace, good kill there. Looks like he's going to be able to get the flag pull out, but it's not going to mean much because it was really up to Maniac to win his 1v1. On the other side of the map, here's another 1v1, Nated going up against Maniac. But yeah, Maniac's job was to choke the carbine side of the map, and he wasn't able to do so and lost a one-on-one over to, I think it was Eco. So, you know, Nated's going to do the same thing that Maniac was just trying to do. You only want to send one guy, typically car side. If you have more, then you're not in a good position. But again, nice job from Optic coming in with the bait and switch. So let's see if they're able to do anything. Maniac making his way over towards the base. Going to get a nice little sword lunge onto the Denoxide, but he realizes he needs no shields, and they're spawning over there in the bubble. So you need to not go for that flag. Looks like Heinz is going to try to pull it though.
All right, he does get that pull. Looks like APG with the fuel rod able to take down Eco. That's going to be a numbers advantage now here for Optic. They are pushing the flag across the map. It is at home for it to be scored as well. He will hit the ground pound, and just like that, we've got our first lead here from Optic.
That was a good flag cap, and that was all a result of, you know, Maniac's play earlier and just the, you know, pressure that they were adding, Ace staying alive in that bubble. All of those small little plays build up to that specific moment where they captured the flag.
And looks like we are seeing some life here out of LOL still. They are doing a great job, and this is the best teamwork that I've seen from them, period. And Ace with amazing shots picks up that perfect, outplaying the carbine player.
Yeah, it's going to be up to Denoxide to lock down the pink side of the map. We haven't seen his shooting his teammates there, getting a little mad that Nated was going over there towards P1, but we haven't seen much P control coming out from either team. It's because of the amount of pressure that teams are playing on defense. They keep just setting up in the base, which puts you in an awkward position that makes you have to charge out of P2, which is a good defensive strategy. So I like that Optic right now, or Optic is pushing over towards P2. Let's see if they're able to control that area of the map. The flag is gone, but it is going to get reset here pretty soon. Nice job by Ace. Aaron getting the shots onto Nated when he was no shields to take him out of scope. He's going to pick up that sword. Also shooting Denoxide, who's under the base, and this is another good opportunity for Optic to try to push in towards the base for the cap. It's really going to rely on what Ace can do with this sword.
All right, it looks like Eco knows there's a player, Car 1, and quickly avoids that situation here. Ace has not forgotten about him, ultimately takes him out, still has the sword and locked down Carbine right now. Now, whenever you have the sword, generally speaking, you want to be the one to run the flag, but just a little bit too late. And then, of course, you've got the players now spawning at Carbine as well.
You have to move quickly, and we saw that's how, you know, Ace was moving pretty fast, but he just wasn't moving fast enough because the spawners come up. You have to get out of there quickly. There's so many angles that you can shoot the flag, so and you try to get that that flag out pretty far because it's not touch return and they can just sit there and return it. So not even able to get an actual flag pull, and Naded's going to be able to get the sword in his hands.
All right, now you've got APG jumping up in the window, but this is going to be a tough spot to be in when the player's got this sword. He does, in fact, hit that somehow from the right, but regardless, another kill here for Naded, and just look at how fast he's able to move around the base.
Yeah, Naded playing a little bit of defense. He doesn't even have to, play defense at this point. He could just sprint out of there and just go to the enemy base. That's what I'd be doing. It looks like he's going to elect to do so. Just, go over there, try to get the objective with the sword. Yeah, you have multiple people over here, but can you really kill everybody with just the sword by yourself? Looks like he is able to get Heinz, but trades kills. So not a bad play, not the best one at the same time too, but it looks like Ace is going to be able to get the flag, and that's a good start for them. However, it looks like Luminosity is pulling a flag at the same time as well.
And you have the player APG here blocking those carbine spawns, trying to stay alive. Bad nade from Eco, but he does pick up the shot to trade the kill there. Maniac knows there's a player shooting at him. It's the Nog side. They do pick up the kill. Ace, is he going to keep fighting or run the flag? He does, in fact, choose to run the flag here. Still a lead now for Optic, and there's plenty of cover for them to go ahead and push this flag backwards.
Nice job by APG. APG smelled something, and it looks like they are going for the return. Heinz trying to get it, but no, he's not able to. So we're in a little bit of a flag standoff here. You have to have the flag at home to score if you guys weren't aware of that. Now, it looks like Ace doesn't know that there's a player over there with the fuel rod. That's going to be Naded. It doesn't look like anyone's in position to help get the return either. Camo fuel rod for Naded and getting the return. This one's going to be all tied up 1-1 unless someone from Optic's able to do anything. I don't think they're going to be able to. That's APG trying to get it in there to get the touch on the flag. He's able to get the assassination. Is anyone there to be able to get the touch? No, APG coming up clutch with the sword. Naded's like, what is going on? There's only so much I could do. I just killed 2. We have 3 teammates on our team. That doesn't mathematically stand up, guys.
I like it's a pretty good impersonation of Naded there, Tom. He almost kind of a misplay here, falling out of that window. I think he could have actually killed that player across map, but he ultimately gets taken out as well. Great plays here from APG to go ahead and get that one return.
Yeah, it looks like they're running a flag at the same time, and let's see if that's going to be Ace. So let's see what Ace is able to do. Is he going to be able to ground pound this one in? Looks like he has APG again playing defense, so these guys working well together, secure both of the caps here. Nice job coming out from Optic. Again, like I was saying, this is their map to do it for them. They play this map pretty well, and they're very comfortable on this one. And if they could just have that same amount of baiting and switching, communication, teamwork, and just overall, knowledge of how they want to play the map, then they would actually, be doing a lot better. But that's just not the case. They need to get on the same page for the rest of these game types, and now it looks like Luminosity trying to make their push.
And this is a good job by Denoxide trying to push that across, using the terrain here on the map as to best of his ability, trying to cut off some of the angles, prevent taking shots as much as possible. APG with a Spartan charge into the wall there, maybe just for show, but he does get across the base and stay alive, and looks like not CLG, just looking at that gamer tag, Optic will be able to go ahead and return that one as well.
Yeah, only 3.5 minutes here and haven't even gotten a flag cap yet for the side of Luminosity. So if you're Optic, you're definitely feeling good. It would take a pretty major collapse at this point. But the thing is Halo 5, you could always see quick captures coming out because of the sprint, because of the mechanics introduced to the game. But APG picking up a big double kill is going to be able to at least hold them off for a little bit. So Naded maybe trying to go in for a sneaky cap here, making his way over towards the car side of the map. Has this whole map open pretty much. A player does spawn under the base. That's Heinz. He finally spots him on the radar. Nade doesn't do anything. It's a little bit too late. Is Heinz going to be able to get this kill? He has to clear him out pretty quickly though if you're Naded, because now the rest of Optic's going to be able to collapse.
But it's even better though. Heinz able to stay alive there. Make sure he's waiting for help. Ace does drop down, commit to 1v1. Picks up the kill there on Naded. You got APG fighting a player car side. Great grenades and shots. Does pick up another one. That's at least 2 down here for Luminosity. This might be Optic's opportunity to go ahead and secure this win.
I gotta say, watching APG's screen, his shot's definitely looking really good. Look at that. That's a nice little killing spree coming out from him, holding the fuel rod. And that's one of the things about APG. He's a beast when he's playing well because he has such a good shot, and he's just, almost like a turret there at your base, and there's nothing that you can do. So love to see him playing well. And if he's playing well, you have a feeling that this Optic squad, has a chance.
And looks like the flag still being out here. Just over 2 minutes remaining in this game. Of course, if the game is tied up at 2 flags apiece, there will be a 3-minute
Just get a
sudden
touch here
overtime.
if you're Ace. You don't even have to get the kills. You just need to get that flag out and toss it bottom center. That's exactly what he does. So good heads-up play coming out from Ace. Now it's the rest of these guys that need to watch the flag and make sure they don't get the return. Nice job by Heinz getting the nades on him, but it's not going to be enough. Luminosity is going to get that one, and it's going to be 2-1. with camo coming up here pretty shortly, so this could be a good opportunity from Luminosity. However, Optic does have decent map control and ping control.
And it looks like they know they have pink side control. Eco gets a spawn top of the base. Other members spawning over at Carbine. They need to, or Optic and Heinz here, they need to make sure they wait for everyone to be spawned up. Heinz sees those hit markers from the grenade he threw, almost gets the kill, but Eco with an amazing sword lunge and kill gets the outplay.
Nice job, and it looks like Naded again finding himself on that car side of the map, but just not able to get in there. And now APG does pick up this camo, so this is really big because look how much he has left on the camo. If he stays alive pretty much the entire time, the time limit's gonna almost run out. By the time that camo runs out, he's only gonna have about, missed an opportunity for an overkill there, but looks like that's going to be it, and Optic's going to walk away with it, and that's all APG. You could see how good his shot was getting that camo. They not only were able to play defense, but they were able to secure the captures. So it's like night and day on these guys when they go and they play Truth CTF. It's like, where was that on Rig, guys? Where was that on Plaza? This is what you want to see from these guys when we know they have it in them.
And that's an impressive performance. It's honestly probably the best performance we've seen out of APG since he had that car accident quite some time ago now. So hopefully he's got all the rust out of the way here, and he's ready to come out and have a fantastic season. And he is not ready to give up.
He has the battle rifle right in his hands a lot of these times too. So he's not only getting the weapons that you need to pick up, he's also doing a good job controlling them. And that's something that we haven't seen, from these other guys on Plaza and on the Rig. Now they're going again on the Rig strongholds. There's the camouflage. There's weapons on the map that they have to be worried about. They won Truth CTF because, frankly, what do you have? You have a couple of weapons, but it's not nearly as much as, the plasma caster on the Rig. It's not as much as the railgun, for example. So it's up to these guys now to just, control the weapons, control the flow of the game, and let's see what they can do.
Yeah, and like we said, they're not going to give up quite yet. APG and Ace made sure of that one with a 32 and 26 kill count. I don't exactly remember. I don't think anyone else broke 20 or 21 kills there from Luminosity as well. So heavily outslayed Luminosity in that game.
Yeah, killing spree after killing spree. It's just fantastic job of securing captures. I think that was one of the big things that we saw Optic do last season, where they really faltered on coming back and securing the captures. You saw, I believe it was someone from car side on Luminosity pushing up, and Ace was running the flag, and APG threw the nade because he smelled someone coming over towards car side, maybe hurt him or something like that. And that's something that we missed coming out from Optic before. I wouldn't say that Strasic was the guy that it was his job to make sure all the flags got secured, but it's nice to see that these guys have fixed at least that part of their game.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of time here between the off seasons, and these teams have in fact been practicing as well. And Optic definitely looking stronger here now and not going down without that fight. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the vetoes here and find out how we ended up on our game number 4. So in fact, we do need to go ahead and continue that with the games already previously being played. We are looking at the Rig strongholds here. There is going to be a ban on Eden and a ban on Empire. Of course, that Empire ban coming from LOL as well on the bottom of your screen there. So we do have the players getting set up in the match here now. Don't want to waste any time. Let's go ahead and take a look at the map overview here and see what we can expect for game number 4.
You got to be feeling good if you're Luminosity, even though you just lost that last map, because how dominant they were on that Rig Slayer game. They had it all pretty much figured out. They had all of the rotations down to a T. Yeah, this is strongholds. It is different. But, hopefully Maniac, when he goes for the camo, will actually hit the shot on that little white thing that it takes to knock it down. So let's see. He grabs the battle rifle instead. Maybe this will be a little bit better. Oh, someone else shoots it down for him. So fortunate for him. A lot of nades coming in towards the basement. Pretty common for players to go and try to contest this basement. But however, they are able to capture that. Now they need to make their way towards that nest and control this carbine area. Because unlike in Slayer, you want to hold the opposite side of the map. So looks like everybody from Luminosity knows that and is starting to collapse. And that's going to be Denoxide over there with the railgun in a pretty powerful position. Everyone's spawning on open field for the side of Optic. This is a really good opportunity to get a multi-kill for Denoxide if he plays it correctly.
And just like that, pretty much a 2-for-1, just picks up 1 kill, able to quickly finish off Heinz with the pistol as well. They did not see that player coming out of the White Hall, and that is going to be putting the first points here on the board for Luminosity as soon as they capture it.
Yeah, and I like that Denoxide was aggressive. A lot of people will go into the nest and just sit there and hide behind the wall and not even peek, but because he had the railgun, he was able to sit there and just watch and have the confidence to be able to kill anyone that was going to come out, and then he hid behind the wall once he started to see people. So like the way that Luminosity's playing this one, especially with Denoxide with this railgun, if he's able to lock this down, they could slowly build on this lead. They do have the BR base area. They can just leave this basement and just hold this setup very similar to how you hold in a Slayer position. All they have to do is worry about open field and the carbine spawns and make sure no one's coming over to barrels towards that tower area.
Now it looks like Denoxide finally spots a player is going to be Tower 1. Rather than challenging or fighting, he's just going to back up, leave him there for now, get a better angle, and picks up a quick kill on APG as well. Now, if you've seen the kill feed, Ace just picked up 2 kills as well, so this is going to be X-Optic's opportunity to get back into this one, potentially capture this nest. It doesn't look like anyone from Luminosity is in position.
This is a good time for X-Optic to capture that nest area because the camouflage is coming up, and when you add that kind of pressure, when you add that objective pressure, then you can really open up the slaying areas. Meanwhile, mainly just getting that camo because of the fact that Luminosity says, hey, do we have to go for this camo, or do we immediately go for the railgun, or do we make our way towards one of the strongholds? So Maniac, really like the way that he's playing this, gonna have to stay alive and make his way over towards that camo and see what's going on with that one. Not really sure if anyone was able to pick that up, but it looks like he's gonna make his way over towards the BR. Don't agree with that play.
And that's going to be L-Town now with the new railgun as well. You can see him, Heinz trying to help out Ace take that player down. Ace is challenging him, does pick up the kill. Heinz picks up one on Denoxide, and that's going to be Optic, or excuse me, X-Optic putting some time back on the clock.
Ace didn't see the player that was right behind him. He kind of looked right at him and then looked away. Eco getting caught in the wall there, but you know, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that big of a deal because they pick up the basement, and Naded's going to be able to lock down this side of the map. Let's see if he's able to kill this player over at the carbine. Misses a nade, however, does have the suppressor. That player's going to be taken down to no shields. It's Heinz. Heinz giving him the assault rifle, but they do trade kills. So not the worst thing for Naded, but he did have a better position than Heinz. So nice job by Heinz picking up that kill.
Yeah, it definitely comes out ahead with Heinz in that situation. That shotgun's still down on the map. Great grenade by APG, just takes that player, no shields, not able to actually pick up the kill. L-Town now trying to focus on this nest here, but he is quickly being collapsed on. There is help coming. He's trying to delay as long as possible. Knows that there are players trying to help him get this nest, and it looks like it is going to go back in control of Luminosity.
Good play from L-Town. You know, you got to get that barrel out of the way. Sometimes shooting the barrel will expose your back. However, his teammates did have his back, and they were able to keep him alive, and they were able to capture this. And this is really good for the side of Luminosity. They're up 2-1 in this series. They're slowly building on this lead. Camouflage coming up in about 30 or 40 seconds, and all L-Town has to do is sit there and anchor this carbines area with the battle rifle. However, it looks like everyone on X-Optic is going to elect for a barrels push.
And it looks like L-Town is going to be able to back up APG here. I still like this positioning
Good job
a lot.
staying off radar.
Yeah, staying off radar, taking his time, not making a move unless he absolutely has to, and no one from X-Optic able to start the stronghold capture, so there's no point in actually making any move.
And there it is, comes out, gets the perfect shots, and then that's going to be Maniac challenging as well. Maniac's going to switch over. He's going to be able to get the kill. Nice job. APG's going to come in there and finish that one up, but nice job by both players there. I like how L-Town slow played that one, and when you have the lead, you're able to make more plays like that and not have to panic. Ace staying alive with a little croucheroo there, and then gets hits by a nade and still stays alive, so nice job coming out from Ace. Maniac coming in with the help as well, getting the double kill, dropping down. However, they do not have the strongholds in their favor, so it looks like that's going to be Heinz doing his best to make his way over there towards the nest area and also kill the camo guy at the same time. Just switch over to your assault rifle, man. You'll be able to get that. Oh, he doesn't have it. He has a shotgun. Okay, so if he would have been able to switch over to the assault rifle, that would have been a little bit better, but however, shotgun does serious work. Oh, naded. Oh my goodness, what a fast reaction to get that beat down onto Heinz. Heinz wasn't even able to pull the trigger, and a little bit of BM coming out, bad manners coming out from Denoxide with the teabag. He gets taken out because of it with the railgun, but the thing is Luminosity, they're looking really strong on the rig.
Denoxide must be forgetting about that goose he had last season, because I know I sure haven't, but pretty good play overall.
Well, we got a couple of geese in here. We got APG and Denoxide, so
we got a whole flock of them,
yeah,
Tom.
we do have an entire almost an entire flock here. But looks like Heinz is going to try to migrate his way over towards the basement and contest it, because if he gives this up, all right, they don't give it up, but that could have been a triple cap coming out from Luminosity. But there it is. Now that they get the kills, they can collapse on this nest, and it's not over yet. We've even seen comebacks where teams had 98 or 99 points. So nice job rotating by both teams. Looks like basement's going to be traded for nest, and someone needed to anchor there on the side of Optic to make sure that everyone didn't charge from barrel side from Luminosity. Luminosity will take that trade any day of the week.
And it looks like this is pretty grim now here for Optic. They're not able to grab real control. Every time they are capturing one hill, they end up losing the other strongholds. They've had several of the new railguns, so kind of doing a better job at controlling power weapons overall. A little bit of a miss there from Eco, and Ace is able to pick up that kill. That's going to take the railgun back in his hands as well, but that's a triple cap right now for Luminosity.
Well, you can see he gets a couple kills and then doesn't know what to do because his teammates aren't even able to secure any part of the map. So it's unfortunate for Ace because he does get this railgun, and he could have easily went for the camo or captured BR or did anything, but he had to just juke back and forth because he wasn't sure what was going on. There wasn't enough communication from these guys, and now they're able to pick up the camouflage. If Optic's not able to secure this nest, it's going to be pretty much over. Looks like it's only a couple ticks away, and APG is able to get this one. So here's the possibility for the comeback. It's going to start with Ace. Ace really has to hit this shot on Denoxide because there's another player above him on the bridge that's going to collapse. Denoxide doing a nice job peek shooting. L-Town comes in with the help. So unfortunate for Ace that his teammates just weren't in the positions that they needed to be, and now they're going to have to scramble.
And you can see there's a player with camo in nest right now, hiding high up in the air, where he's still able to put time or capture that hill, but not have to stay in the position of getting naded very easily. Ace, big kill there on Eco with the outplay. Tries to stay alive, but hugs the wall a little bit too hard. He had to pop out and try to stop this hill. Nope, they're trying to capture nest.
That's gonna be
Doesn't look like there's going to be enough time, especially if Naded's able to hop in there for just a second. And even with not being able to, that's going to be all she wrote here. Taking a look at the score, though.
Even slays.
Pretty even slays, yeah, and it just was lots of captures from both teams essentially as well, but L-Town doing a fantastic job with 18 kills, and Optic kind of even across the board.
Yeah, this game, it was 137, but it was just because of the rotations and the timing, and you can just see Luminosity. They're just so well-rounded when it comes to their strategies and exactly what they wanted to do, and we're taking a look at highlights from all of the map, but just an overall, high overview of what we just saw. We saw Maniac come out in the very first game in that Plaza game and only drop 8 kills, and we saw Heinz make mistakes at the end of that game and then have a poor game too. And to me, that just screams how mental this game really is. You can see the toll taken on these guys, from the information that they received last night that they're no longer going to be a part of Optic Halo, and meanwhile Luminosity's just chomping at the bit, can't wait to get this one started, and they're going to walk away with the very first win of the fall season. And
now, Tom, is this what you kind of predicted happening in this series? Now, after you just watched this first game, we had Optic at that 8th place spot, only making one change over the course of last season, but with this new Luminosity and what you just saw out of them, what do you think going forward?
Well, Luminosity, it's going to be, they're probably sitting right around that same skill level of Evil Geniuses is. I'm going to put them around like 5th, 6th, 7th. It's going to be, they're going to have to play a higher level of competition, in my opinion. I was hoping that Optic was going to be that level of competition, but to me, it's just the same old song with them. I'm seeing exactly what I saw in the previous season. Roster changes and just drama will really plague how you're actually playing. It takes a toll on you. It's just such unnecessary worries that you have in your life. There's so many things going on already in this world. When you add that extra bit in there, it makes it really hard to perform.
Yeah, and let's not forget here, taking a look at that Optic. That was Maniac. That video we watched earlier today, the emotions that he was showing, everything that is going through his mind as a player, it is impossible to not let that affect you.
Yeah, and like I said, you can either ride the momentum and let it take you up, or it can take you down. And, a big part of that is sleep deprivation and things like that come into it, what your thought process is. All of these things, the way that you win, it's all of the little self-talk and the small thoughts that you have with yourselves leading up to those things. Just imagine if Maniac was focusing on what he wanted to do in Plaza, doing research on what Luminosity was doing, instead of worrying about where he's going to live for the next, however many years of his life.
Yeah, I can't even imagine exactly what is going to be the rest of the day here for those players and what they have to do going forward. Now, we do have a winner interview ready here. We have L-Town joining us from Luminosity. L-Town, first of all, congratulations, and can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
All right.
We're going to call this one a winner view. It's a winner view.
A winner view?
Yes,
Yeah.
congrats on your win, man. How does it feel to walk away? You know, how does it feel first being the first matchup here in the fall season? And then how does it feel to reconnect with Nated and to win that first match?
Well, I was pretty hyped that we were the first match. You know, I wanted to start the season off with a nice W. And to be back with Brett feels real good, man. We got the OBJ duo back together.
Right, so you're talking about how you guys do the OBJ. Now, you have a pretty up-and-coming, you know, Slayer in Denoxide. What was the thought process when it came to the whole shuffling of the teams? What were you looking for in teammates, and how did your team form?
Well, to be honest, at first, once I got dropped from Envy, didn't really get too many team options. So I was a little worried at first. And then me and Kevin were talking, well, me and Eco were talking for a little bit. And then Brett came out of nowhere. He said, "You want to run games?" I said, "Oh, sure, dude, for sure." So then it was us three, and then we needed a good Slayer, and Dan's been killing it lately. And he's just been, you know, out shooting everybody. So just got to pick him up. And we just meshed really well.
Yeah, he was definitely playing extremely well that series. His shot was absolutely on fire. Now, give me your thoughts on the Nated situation. Do you see that break that he took? Do you see that coming out and being a benefit to him? Or do you see where maybe he lost a little bit of what he had before?
I think it made him a better player. He definitely needed some time off. He's definitely refreshed. And I feel like he just never stopped playing, honestly.
Now, I wanted to get the team that you just played. Were you, you know, when you got that information about what happened, you know, whether it was last night or this morning when we all did, were you thinking that that would give you guys a little bit of an advantage? Personally, I would think that it would because of the fact that you know how it is mentally when your team's on the rocks and you're not sure if you're going to be a stable four-man group. That affects you almost more than anything.
Well, going into the series, I honestly didn't think about that. We're just trying our hardest no matter what. But now looking back at it, I mean, I could see if it definitely could affect them. But going into the series, we didn't think about that. We just wanted to win.
Absolutely. And you guys came out and did exactly what you needed to do to take that series. Now, if you had to give an MVP to anybody on your team for that first matchup of the season, who would you give it to?
Probably Dan.
He did have a fantastic tournament.
Yeah, he played well. What do you think it was about, you know, the game type selection and you saw Plaza and then you saw Rig back to back. Are you guys, you know, weak on CTF Truth? Did they play good on CTF Truth? What happened in that and what are your guys' strengths and weaknesses?
Well, we're usually good at Truth Flag, but they actually played that really well. They had control the whole time, so we just honestly couldn't do anything. We were stuck in our base the whole time. And the few times we did get out of our base, we didn't capitalize on it. So it was just more of them being better at it, I guess. But we're usually good at it. And in other game types, you know, I can't be giving away our secrets. I can't say what good game types we have and what we're weak at, because then people will just veto it.
True.
Touche.
So overall, when everything was all settled, where do you guys think that your squad, Luminosity, is going to end up? Are you going for that top 4 spot? Are you trying to win? What is your guys' mindset right now?
Well, I'm not trying to sound cocky, but I definitely think we're at least top 3, top 4. I'll say that.
Is that based on the scrims? Is that based on just like how you guys feel? Where are you guys lining up in scrims, and how have you guys been playing over the last, say, like 2 weeks?
Scrims the past few weeks. Honestly, the only teams that beat us in the scrim is just CLG and Envy, but all the teams are close and all. But I don't think we lost any other teams.
Gotcha. Well, L-Town, I wanted to congratulate you one more time for starting off this fall season so strong here. Really excited to see what your team is going to have in store, and I kind of agree with you there. You guys are looking very strong.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks. Well, have a great rest of your day there as you get ready to prepare for tomorrow's matches as well. Now, of course, if you're at home watching, make sure you join into the conversation. Make sure you tweet at us using the hashtag HCS. Let us know your thoughts, predictions, what just happened in that series. I know Luminosity would love to hear some positive feedback, and then even Optic, I'm sure they could use all the help that they could as well right now, especially with everything that they're going through. So don't go anywhere. We have more matches coming up next. We're going to have Optic Gaming, so the new #1 seed here, going up against Enigma 6, so the rematch of the summer finals. Don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back after this.